This car is quickly becoming a money pit. Just kidding. Like I said, when I first got the car, the strut was blown out in the front. So my buddy Michael, like I said, if you guys watched the last video, at the end of it, I mentioned I was going to take that thing off, do whatever with it, and then my wheels got finished up at powder coating today, so that's what I wanted to make today's video on. And it just so happened that I was in the middle of doing my strut when the guy texted me and was like, yo, your wheels is done. So, yeah, no, my strut was blown out. This car is lowered on Coney Yellow Sports with some iBox springs. I think it's a really common setup for back in the day, quote unquote. I don't know what back in the day is, but I hear it said a lot in this stuff. So yeah, gotta put that strut back in since I got the new one right there on the ground. The old one is in the box right there, totally blown out. Like, I'm not a strong man and I can compress it by hand, no problem. And it pissed fluid all over me too. So we'll get that put on, and then we'll get this, get these wheels mounted, and I'll show you guys because I am so freaking hyped on how these wheels came out. It looks so good. Swapping these struts out on the S is a little bit, I mean, I guess it's not really any different if you're doing a strut spring combo in any other car really, but I'm used to coilovers, so the strut spring combos are a little tedious for me because coilovers are shorter, like physically, so it's just easier to get in and out. The S makes it pretty simple, so I did have to disconnect the lower ball joint from the hub and the upper control arm from the chassis, and then the assembly obviously is just kind of sitting here on this bucket. Thankfully the lower ball joint didn't have to be separated. It's like a two-part piece thingy, ball joint piece into the lower control arm, and it bolts to the hub, so it's really simple. But I gotta try and wiggle this up here by myself and kind of keep everything balanced. So other than that, the strut itself is super easy. It's just the two nuts that go through the shock tower, and then you got this one through bolt down here on the bottom. Not a big deal, but yeah, let's try and get this thing on. Okay, so getting this new one in because it's not blown is definitely harder. So I had to actually disconnect the sway bar entirely and drop it on this half, and now I can push the strut where I need it to and get this through bolt in there. Okay, now I can try and send this through. I think this is like a 17. Yeah, 17. So let's see what happens. We'll tap it in with the impact on low. Threads are powder coated, so it's a little tough. Okay. Yeah, that went in like butter now. A lot of you guys were following me, or that follow me on Instagram, were commenting thinking it was RPF ones that I got, because they are Yankees, but they aren't RPF ones. Don't get me wrong, I like RPF ones. I have them on the Integra. I got those a couple years ago from, I bought them from a tweaker in Phoenix for like 300 bucks with tires. What was I looking for? I don't remember. Oh, my lug nuts. So I had to go buy some of those other lug nuts. I wanted some open-end nice ones, but nobody local had any in stock. So I just bought some normal Acorn ones for now. But yeah, a lot of you guys thought they were RPF ones. Definitely not RPF ones. But suspension should be all put together. Everything should be snug down. Snug, snug, sway bar snug, upper control arms snug. We should be good. Top bolts are tightened down too, so let's slap these wheels on, shall we? I was gonna try and make some sort of corny, like cheesy, whatever thing, but I'm gonna just show you guys. The wheel of choice for the S2000, and my handle is falling apart, hold on. Wheel of choice for the S2000, ta-da! Hopefully that wasn't too anticlimactic, but these are Enkei TS9s. So I did a lot of hunting for wheels, specs, recommendations, what looked good, what didn't look good. And the one thing that I found is that S2000s are very particular about their wheel offset. So the factory setup is a staggered setup. This is a squared setup. I would normally run the staggered. It's obviously more optimal for performance in this situation, but I wanted this to be a little bit more practical so I can rotate my tires, get a little bit more life out of everything, you know, just because it is the daily. It'll be good enough. There's enough meat on here, and there'll be more meat in the future when I get a wider tire. I just went with a 235 for the moment, because I do need to have my fenders rolled. There's a guy, local Leo Fender Rolls. He's a killer with that type of stuff. So I'm gonna take the car to him. And so I got a smaller sidewall tire, or thinner tire, so that way I knew it would clearance. So these tires, or these wheels, are 17x9 plus 45 squared. Really the lowest offset you can get away with on a stock body S like this is like a 42, 43, and even then you gotta roll and, depending on the tire, pull your fenders. So I didn't want to go too aggressive with it. I just wanted to do a nice roll and then get some nice wheels on here. And then as for wheel selection, really under $2,000, you're very limited. So these ones I got on eBay. I got the last set from the seller. These were $923, and then these are just some normal Federal $595 SS's. So not the RSRRs, but the second one up. So these ones get a little bit more mileage on them. But yeah, just paired up with those. It was with, and then powder coating, I just went to a local guy here. His name is Eric. He did a fantastic job. Like, this is just a single stage gloss white, but it looks so freaking good. I think he has a contactless tire machine too, so really no scuffs, and whatever's on there I can just wipe right off anyway. But yeah, I'll have his Instagram here up on the page. If you guys are local and you want to go get your stuff powder coated, tell him I sent you. But yeah, let's get these things on. I'm so excited to see how these looked. And as for the white, the reason I did the white, these only come in like one color, which is like a gunmetal silverish gray. Those Rep TEs I had for that like quick snippet in that video a few videos ago, I loved how the white looked, so I wanted white. Relax, it's a low torque setting. Oh, now it's a broken torque setting. Hand torque. Alright, so here we go. These things look so freaking good on here. And again, I only am on Coney Yellow Sports with Eibach lowering springs. That was what was on the car when I got it. I think the ride height is perfect. The 40 sidewall, the 40 mil sidewall, compared to seeing the stock wheels, is a little skinny, so there's a teensy more of wheel gap, but that's totally fine because in this case it gives me plenty of room. So I did just contact my local fender roller guy, so I'm just waiting on him to message me back. You can see the fender liner's kind of wrinkled here because these are just Amazon fender liners, but he's going to be trimming this out a little bit anyway when he goes to roll them. But I think the fitment is basically perfect where I need it. Pretty much perfectly flush. I do like how the wheel itself, like the spokes, kind of poke a little bit, whereas the barrel of the wheel actually sits in. I think that's basically just how I wanted it. So I obviously just finished putting these on, so the car has not been aligned yet. The car's alignment was fresh when I bought it a couple weeks ago, so I will be getting an alignment because I do have new tie rod end links. I bought some on Rock Auto just because I like to play it safe, and the ones that are on the car, yeah, here they are, but the ones that are on the car now didn't look too bad, but it takes 2 seconds to swap them out on this car because literally just pop the wheel off and then they're right here on the end. Like, you don't have to kind of dig in there. Super easy. So I'll swap those out. I'm probably gonna get the car aligned Wednesday because tomorrow's Tuesday and I have some work to do tomorrow. I got a 350Z coming over for some exhaust work. Terrifying. But yeah, so I'll have to get the car aligned Wednesday, but that'll be fine. It's not going to eat the tires because the alignment was still mint, and these tires are only 1 inch larger and a little bit wider. So, oh gosh, it looks so good though. I freaking love it. Absolutely love it. So there's only a few more small things to do to the car before I can basically leave it alone for a while. Still need to do the brake flush, the clutch master flush. I want to change the front rotors and pads. I want to put some StopTech Sports on here and then get new pads because these ones are very old and pads are pretty worn down. So just a little bit more maintenance. These tie rods with the alignment. And then just, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, because after that, this car should be minty. And then just enjoy it. Just drive it, start stacking more money, keep on filming videos as I can, and then soon save up some more, keep tripping on stuff, save up some more money and start working on the Integra again, because that, I know you guys are dying to see. And I'll still do some S content here and there as I can afford to buy a little dress-up parts or this or that, the other, but these wheels, mint. And so let's fast forward a few days now. So I was just driving the car and doing some stuff. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The other morning, I came back from getting my coffee. I noticed the exhaust was rattling pretty good in the right-hand corner, so I got that part fixed. But while I was under there, I just had the hunch to like click the wheels around. And it turns out this passenger front wheel bearing is totally shot. But this is also the wheel hub that was replaced by the shop from the last guy. So sucks, but I'm gonna pull that off really quick. I'm kind of on a time crunch to make sure this car is good to go to California this weekend, so I got a few things I'm gonna do. One of the things is my material showed up for my Heimholtz resonator for me to make, and then I got some new tie rod end links to slap on, and then I also got the wheel bearing. So I don't have the right cups and the right stuff to do the wheel bearing here. I already watched some stuff on the S2000 stuff. It's a little bit bigger than I'm used to doing, like the DA and CRX spindles like I have before. So I'm gonna pull the hub off. I have to go to, there's right up a little family-owned mechanic shop like 3 blocks away. So they said they'd just charge me like 40 bucks, just press out the old bearing and press the new one in really quick if I bring them the hub. So I'm gonna do that in the morning, but I'm gonna take the hub off now, get these tie rods slapped on, and then just inspect under there because it just feels like something weird's going on, and make that Heimholtz. So I know I need rotors. That's next on the list is rotors and pads. But thankfully the hub is pretty easy to remove. Just got to separate the upper ball joint, separate the tie rod end, which like I said, I'm changing these out anyway. And then you got the ball joint down here, which is like 2 17-mil bolts that bolted to the hub itself. And then we can get this thing popped off. So let's do that really quick. And like I can shake this hub around just by grabbing it like here, like by the end of the knuckle here. So yeah, this wheel bearing is definitely toast. Alright, there we go. Told you, pretty easy. I like how easy these ball joints are to replace too, because you don't even have to take the whole hub off. You can just straight on bolt it under the cotter pin, pop it real quick, and swap them out. Kind of want to go buy some while I'm here though, since those second stimmy checks just hit. Kind of want to replace these, have some peace of mind. But these ones don't even look bad. They still feel pretty tight, so I think I'll leave them for a little bit. But I do need to get some new upper. Oh, what the fudge? That would be my clunking. Okay. Why is that? That's... okay, well. I think this actually explains my clunking. So the ball joint has become unseated. These are, I just did some research, these are press fit style, no snap rings or anything like that. So in the meantime, I did just order both replacement upper control arms because there's really no options for these things. Only aftermarket ball joints you can get are SPC, and I read those things had some suspension geometry issues. I don't need anything fancy, I just need stock replacements. And while I ordered them off Rock Auto, I called on my local auto parts stores. They all want close to $200 per arm. Rock Auto has Beck and Arlanes for like $80 or $95. And I ordered some new lower ball joints while we're at it, just to do those. So in the meantime, I'm gonna weld this ball joint in place. That way I can at least drive the car for the next 4 days until my parts show up. Well, this, I mean, it at least explains a lot. I can get away with welding it just fine, but definitely not what I thought was gonna have to happen. So I got the exhaust off. This is my little printout for the tube coping calculator thing. So I got my hole marked out here. I got to drill it still. It's going to be a little tedious because it's stainless, you know. Stainless is hard to drill through, but that's what we got these carbide burr bits for. Drill a pilot hole, hog it out with the step bit, and then open it up with the carbide burr bit. And my other piece is right here. So this is the piece that's going to be going, I mean other side, but you get the idea. It's going to be going like that. And then I'm going to just cut a piece and cap the end of it. And that's it. That's a simple Helmholtz resonator. So that's how this thing works. You literally just put around it. You can tape it on there and then cut around it, or you can mark it with a marker, like I did, and then just follow the cut line. Now I'm just setting the tube up on some sheet metal, and we're just going to trace it and cut it out to get our cap. So here we are. A little oversized, but that's perfectly fine. That gives us a little bit of an edge to weld to. So I'm going to go ahead and weld this thing up real quick, and then we can go ahead and drill our hole on the big piece and just attach it. And I see this little black thing on the freaking lens here. I think that's a scratch in my lens cover itself. So I'll have to buy a new one. I got my initial hole drilled out, so I'm gonna just try and hog it out just a bit so that way I can obviously get the most airflow into this thing. I already got my circle marked, so I'm gonna try and go a little bit, maybe a mil or two on the inside of this Sharpie circle, and that should give me enough room to play with, and then try and take it all up the best I can. I have a little bit of a gap on this side because the template was just a little off, or I cut it a little off, and I tried fixing it but wasn't having much luck, so we'll work that part out. There we go, got the hole kind of ovaled out, but it'll still work. I'll just have to be a little bit careful with the welds. But yeah, let's weld this up. Okay, got it all welded up. This side was quite the trick to freaking weld that. So, yeah, it shouldn't crack. But this is ideally just a Helmholtz resonator, just like that. Sound waves go whoop back that way. And yeah, it's nighttime. So I'm not going to be putting this on tonight, but I'll slap this on in the morning. It takes 2 minutes since this is a pretty little setup, pretty easy little setup. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Normally I associate Circle K as like the crackhead gas station, but I forget they actually have fresh brew coffee, and it's not too bad. And I like the cinnamon stuff. If you guys aren't from, like, I don't know where Circle K's are. I don't remember seeing any like out in the Midwest. I think they're in Florida and stuff, but I don't know. If you know Circle K, at least in Arizona, it's usually crackhead haven. Anyway, I dropped off the wheel hub just now to the little mechanic shop right up the street. Like I said, I didn't want to go spend 80 or 100 bucks on buying the whole kit with all the different cups right now, because I'm only doing the one. So I just dropped it off to them. They're doing it under the table for like 40 quick bucks or whatever. And anyway, I'm gonna go throw the exhaust back on because I shoved it under the car over there. It's already all welded up and all that. Got the Helmholtz resonator. And other than that, oh, my brother's on his way. He's gonna be coming here shortly to ceramic coat the wheels, and he's actually hooking me up with a 3-year ceramic coating on the car. So we'll get a few little snippets of that. And yeah, we'll do that. Sweet pickle. Got the freaking exhaust put back on. Yeah. Alright, so my brother showed up. Still waiting on the wheel bearing to get pressed in. They're taking their time. I got the tie rods put on, And for those of you that commented on my first video about my headlights needing to be replaced or cleaned up, this one, he just did both headlights. This one does have some good heavy chunky marks. He was able to blend them really well though, so they at least look a lot better. Obviously they're a little hazy right now because he just sprayed everything down, but he's getting ready to just do a rinseless wash or whatever on the car, and then he's going to start the ceramic coat because he just was here, shoot, a week and a half ago detailing the car. Already did some sort of coating stuff that we just used yesterday on a detail. I don't know, it's his orange juice looking mix stuff. But yeah, he's doing a 3-year ceramic coating on the car, and then the main reason I had him come by is because obviously I just got the wheels powder coated, and I want these ceramic coated as well because I just ordered some Stop Tech Sport brake pads, and just in general the brake dust will like etch itself into the wheel, into the paint and stuff, and I don't want that. I want these to stay as fresh as possible for as long as possible. So with the ceramic coating, it's going to make it so I can just rinse these wheels off and everything will just fall off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you have considered subscribing by now. Hopefully you guys are enjoying some of this S2000 content. It's still pretty surreal to me that I actually own it, even though it's been like 2 weeks now. And again, it's got its imperfections. It's whatever. But we're working on them one kink at a time. But at least the car is looking minty fresh. So anyways, guys, yeah, I'm going to just play the waiting game for the rest of the day. But I don't know what's coming up. Actually, yes, I do know what's coming up next. We're going to California. That's what we're doing. Lazy Man Garage's birthday. Go give him a follow. Go give him a shout out on Instagram. Go tell him happy birthday. Happy belated birthday by the time you guys see this video. But anyways, guys, do what you love. Think about the rest. Scoop some merch, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.